Hey everyone, so I'm back again for another video. This time around I have another collection update to do. This time I'm going to be I'm going to be showing you guys my Wii collection, but I've already filmed this several times and each time I found it to be even more boring than the last. It turned out to be very long because I have 80 games in total in my Wii collection. And even the first time that I did the collection video, it was about 25 minutes long, and I think I've added about 20 more games since then, so it would take some time. So I decided to split it up into 4 videos covering 20 games each, and yeah, just stay tuned for the later parts, but here's part 1. So, just so you know, all the games are in alphabetical order, and that's it really. Let's get to it. So the first game here is a remake of an NES game. It's called A Boy and His Blob. It's just a platformer where you play as this boy and his blob. You feed him different colored jelly beans and he transforms into different helpful items to make your way through the different platforms. And it's a very sort of cute and fun game to play, and it's just an interesting game to see compared to the original version for the NES. Next is Animal Crossing City Folk. Honestly, Animal Crossing is a series that takes a lot of time and effort, and in my opinion, there's not a lot of not a lot that you get in return for playing it. So I haven't been able to really get into this series, even though I try and I try again, especially with Wild World for the DS, but I just can't get myself too into it. Next is Alone in the Dark, another remake of a... I know there was already a sequel to it or something on the Dreamcast that I have, but I believe it's also on the PS1 and maybe on some cartridge-based system as well. It's a survival horror game, and it's pretty interesting, but I've heard terrible reviews about this one here. I only got it because I think it was like $1 something at EB Games, and I thought, why not? It even had a music CD, so it was sort of interesting. Next is a game that I've actually heard a lot of good things about, and I know the price is going up lately. The game itself is called Arkwright Fantasia. It's an RPG for Wii, of course. But yeah, it's an RPG made by Image Epoch, and it's been published by Marvelous Entertainment. It's just a standard action RPG, really. The only other thing about this game that I could really say is that it lets you use the GameCube controller as well, and I like the GameCube controller, and anytime that that's an option, I prefer that over using the Wii remote. Next is a game that I only got for, I think, about 40 cents or something like that. It was dirt cheap at EB Games, and I thought it would be worth a few laughs. It seems like a very bad Harry Potter ripoff. Even on the back of it, it says, "Grab your wizard's hat, hop on a broomstick, and join Barry Hatter and friends in an adventure beyond belief." Barry Hatter. Then who the hell is Billy the Wizard? Next is also a kind of cheap game. This one, I don't know what to say really about it. It's called Blastworks. I actually haven't played this yet. I got this one dirt cheap. A little while back I went to EB Games and I just picked up a stack of really cheap games, planning on playing through them. Some of them I gave a little bit of attention to, others I still haven't gotten around to. Next is Bomberman Land. It's a Bomberman game, but there's tons and tons of mini games altogether. There's more than 40 mini games, and it's pretty gimmicky in terms of it has like sort of standard kinds of motion control games for the Wii, but again, it lets you use the GameCube controller, and I was sort of drawn in by that. Next is a game made by Rockstar. It was released on the PS2 and the Xbox 360. This one here, of course, is a Bully Scholarship Edition. Scholarship Edition was the one released on the Wii, and I have not played through this yet because I got it about last month, and I've been playing a couple other games right now, so I just haven't had the time for it. But I've heard good things, and I definitely need to give some time to it. Next is Castle of Shikigami 3. I do not own the first or the second one. It's a vertical scrolling shooter. Vertical scrolling shoot 'em up. Yeah, it's not that hard, but there are moments where it can seem a little cheap, but I still like it. I like shoot 'em up, so it's definitely a game that I wanted to add to my collection. Now, a game that's part of this pile of cheap games that I got from EB Games for under $1 each. This one here is called Chicken Shoot. It's just a very cruddy sort of light gun game from older cartridge-based systems, but just not enjoyable at all. Next is a not-so-fun racing game called Classic British Motor Racing. This one was also in the dirt cheap pile. It just happens that I have a couple of them in a row here. This one here is a robot mech shooter called Counterforce. It was really, really disappointing, and not much else to say about that. This one here is called Create. I have not played this yet, but it seems you can create your own sort of levels to play through, so that seems interesting enough. Next is an on-rail shooter from a survival horror series, I suppose. A sci-fi survival horror series. It's Dead Space Extraction, and like I said, it's an on-rail shooter. You get to use the Wii Zapper with this, so I definitely like myself some on-rail shooters, and I prefer these to first-person or third-person shooters. I like it when there's a set track and you go with it and try to shoot everything like an arcade shooter. Next is another game I haven't really played. It seems to be just a platformer. It's called Dewey's Adventure, made by Konami. It was cheap enough, I thought I might as well go and grab it. Now this game here, I got it from a Giant Tiger a few years back. I have the complete set for it, but this is just the game itself. It's DJ Hero 2. I played it when I got it, have not played it since then. Next is Donkey Kong Barrel Blast, and I also have Donkey Kong Country Returns. No other Donkey Kong games though for the Wii, at least in my collection. This one here, pretty much, it's a kind of a racing game. You control Donkey Kong as he flies through the sky with these weird bongo jetpack kinds of things, and you collect bananas and stuff like that. It's enjoyable, but it's pretty basic and repetitive. And then Donkey Kong Country Returns is a really good platformer, a lot like the well, pretty much exactly like the original Donkey Kong Country series, but updated, and it looks nice. I never finished this one here, but I did finish Returns 3D for the 3DS. And just two more games here for this video for part 1. This one here is Dragon Quest Sword, the Masked Queen, and the Tower of Mirrors. I have not played this yet, but it seems to be a kind of an RPG where they focused mainly on the motion controls. It was an early on release, I believe, 2007, 2008. So just a few years after the Wii came out, and yeah, back then I feel like there were a lot of games that sort of focused heavily on the motion controls, and they didn't really stop doing that until several years later, especially by 2010. I noticed around then um, fewer games took the gimmicky advantage of the Wii motion controls. And the last game for this video is Elebits. It seems to be another platformer by Konami, similar to Dewey's Adventure, I believe. Yeah, Dewey's Adventure. I have not played this one either. I got it dirt cheap. I thought I might as well. It looked interesting enough on the cover, but I have not gotten around to it yet. Anyways, that's the end of part 1. If you have anything to say, just leave it in the comment section below. Comments, questions, suggestions, ideas, anything at all. Just leave them in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Also, check out my Twitter, my Facebook, my website. All of them are linked in the description below. And that's it. Stay tuned for part 2, and that's it for now. See ya.